So I don't know if I'm allowed to smoke in these videos, but I'm going to anyway, because right now I'm gonna explain a little bit, because I know that these videos are all going to be up for the world to see, and I just want it to be so that Nikki and the boys can come back to these videos whenever they want, because I've got to do what I've got to do. And social services and probation and the police, they fucked us again and again and again, and they pushed 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 until I broke, and they pushed and they pushed more, and they broke me more, and they broke me again and again. Back in 2015, I got done for ABH and threats to kill. I got a 5 and 3 EDS, so I got an extended determinate sentence consisting of 5 years with 3 years extended license. So it used to be that you do 2/3 of the 5 and then you're released, 3.5 years just under. But then they changed the law. They changed the law so that you do 2/3 and then you go for parole, and if you don't get it, you're released at the end of the 5. So with me, I come in after they changed the law. Nobody realised. They recalculated my dates a dozen times because I got extra days for messing around in prison and whatnot. They released me anyway, because I got locked up in 2015. They released me at the end of 2018. 3 years after that, 1,089 days. And I know that it's 1,089 days exactly because it's a week shy of the 3 years. I was out for that 3 years. They recalled me, and they said, "Oh, sorry, you owe us 608 days unlawfully at large." I said, "You made a mistake." My wife Nikki was very close to giving birth to our eldest. She was about 6 weeks away. I thought, it's okay, we'll appeal it and I'll be out in time for the birth of my first son. And then they turned around after we appealed it and they said, "Sorry, we've made another mistake. It's 1,089 days now." So they give me an extra 3 years. So they turned my sentence into an 11-year sentence. But the whole time, I was in for 2 years nearly. And Nikki, the whole time, she stayed in that flat pretty much exclusively, and she just existed in that flat, and I sat and I rotted in a cell the whole time that I was away. Every week, they were telling me, "You'll be able to go home next week. A few more days and you'll be able to go home. We'll sort all of this out. We'll get it all sorted. Don't worry, you'll be able to go home." Do you know, they let me out. And they acted like I'd done something wrong. I had no possible way of knowing what they'd done. And social services were on our case as well from the beginning. And they've treated us like shit the whole way through. I come home, and I spent about a year at home. And because of how much pressure they were putting me under, and it was me that they were putting the pressure under. They were bullying Nikki. They were putting pressure on me, and it just, like, everything went wrong. We went to people for help as well. We went to the police for help. We went to probation for help. We went to social for help. We just wanted people to give us a chance and people to just help us. And it just, they weren't interested. They decided that they knew what they knew and there was no change in their mind. And yeah, they locked me back up again, and I got worse. My brain did. It got worse and worse and worse. And I've been a dick. I done what I was told, and I made things worse by doing what I was told. And during the 2 years that I've been away recently, to begin with, social services used to shout at Nikki, and they used to bully her, and they used to treat her like shit. Then she started recording the meeting. And then they'd say, "Oh, that's right, we'll let the judge deal with it. We're going to take the kids away. And they wanted her to admit to something that hadn't happened, and they wanted her to say all of these things that hadn't happened. And they kept pushing and pushing and pushing. They never broke Nikki, they broke me. They broke me. And I'm sorry that they broke me, and I'm sorry to Nikki and the boys that I wasn't strong enough to withstand what they were doing. But they treated Nikki like shit, and they kept threatening her with court. The judge will decide, the judge will decide, the judge will decide. So then she wasn't allowed a solicitor until they officially give her the paperwork. They made a mistake and they sent a text message and they said, listen, the judge will decide, we're going to take you to court, take the kids away. So now she was entitled to a solicitor. Then I got a solicitor. We ended up in court. Just before I come out, they took the children away from Nikki. Even after they took the kids away from Nikki, she still never said anything bad had happened, because nothing bad had ever happened. The kids never seen us have an argument. The kids never seen us have a fight. The kids don't, like, you see the pictures of my kids, and I do, like, they're such happy, healthy little things. And I say little, they're monsters. But you see it in their eyes, they're happy. Like, life's good for them. Life was good for them. But they took them away. And they put them with a foster family, hoping that Nikki was gonna spill the beans. There was nothing for her to tell them. So they've made it now. We had court today again, and I thought maybe I've been out for a couple of weeks. They've made it now, so Nikki hates me because they took her children away. They took our children away from her, and it's not okay. It's not okay what they've done. It's really not okay. And I understand, and I do. Please don't think I don't understand. The job of social services is to protect children, but with us, all they've done is used our children as a means to try and get at me. And it's not fair what they've done. It's not fair how they've treated Nikki and the kids. It's not fair what they're doing to the children right now. It just isn't fair. It's not okay. It's not okay. The kids need to be at home with their mum. Nikki's a good mum. She's a fucking awesome mum. She's a phenomenal parent. And nobody will ever be able to take that away from her. Nobody will ever be able to say differently. She is a good parent. She's a good mum. She taught me loads of stuff in parenting. Like, we don't hit the kids. Like, we get down on their level, and like, I'll talk to the kids if they've done something naughty. I'll talk to them face to face. And it's like, those things work. And it's worked for us, and I do. Like, the kids they're really good kids. They clean up after themselves. They put the rubbish in the bin. They're very good kids. They're very polite. They say please and thank you. They're good kids. Monkey see, monkey do. They don't, but they haven't given us a chance as a family. They've bullied us into the point where I'm now going to do what I've got to do, because I know that once I do what I've got to do, inside of a few weeks the kids will be given back to Nikki, and then social will have to leave them alone. Because I'm the big bad wolf. I'm the threat. Do you know how much it cost me? When I got released, I went to the police station down in Truro and begged. I said, please help me. Please, I'll do whatever you want. Please just help me. Just because my brain is breaking, and my mental health has gone really bad. My mental health has gone so bad. Like, it takes a lot for a person to cut their own throat and still have a conversation with you whilst they're bleeding, and like, I've tried to kill myself so many times, and there's like, it's just not fair what they've done to us. Like, they've created this situation and they've pressured us, and they used to sit in the meetings, in the big meetings, in the child protection meetings. And they would sit there and they'd say, "Oh, it's a lot of pressure you're under. What's going through your mind?" And I'd try to straight face it, and I'd say, "No, it's okay. I can deal with the pressure. But then they would add more pressure, and then we'd go back and they'd say, "Oh, how are you finding the pressure?" And I'd say the same thing, and then they would add more pressure, and it was always more and more and more. And we were so close to getting rid of them, and they just couldn't stop. They just couldn't leave us alone. And now they've got what they wanted. Now Nikki hates me, and we're broken as a family. We were a good family. We were a nice nuclear family. Everybody has problems. Like, we had problems. Like, everybody does. It's normal. They don't like the facts that, like, Nikki and I used to spend 12 hours a day on the phone with each other. We'd be on the phone all day. And it's because we love each other, and because we like it. It's not just that we love each other, we like each other. We've got a lot that we used to do together, and we had plans, and they've taken all of that away from my sons. They've taken all of that away from Nikki, and they've taken all of that away from me. And I hope that I don't know what I hope, because nobody will ever be held to account for this, because no matter what happens, I'll always be the big bad wolf. I'll always be the person that is the bad guy in everybody's mind. And I do. The thing that I went to jail for back in 2015 was nothing to do with Nikki, and I did some bad things. I didn't do what they said that I did, but I did some bad things, and I didn't mean to, and they were things that go against my moral compass, and they're things that I don't agree with anybody else, and I shouldn't have done those things. And I jail was okay. Like, I deserve to go to prison, but not for as long as they did, and not the way that they did it to me. They've ruined 4 lives out of this. They've ruined my children's lives, because they're going to grow up without a dad. They've ruined Nikki's life, because they've shown that somebody who was the victim of abuse, because she was abused by one of her relatives through the majority of her life, right from when she was a child. And they used all of that against her. The way that they treated her during everything, when that all come out and went to the police, the way that they treated her for that was abhorrent. Like, the way that they treated her was just, it wasn't okay. And they never even locked him up. He admitted to every day of it. He admitted to interfering with a child from the age of 8. And they never locked him up. But they locked me up again and again and again. And I don't understand. I don't even want to understand. I want to go home. I want my children to be at home, and I want to walk through that door, and I can't. I'll never be able to walk through that door again. I'll never see my children again. I'll never see my wife again, and I'll never... It's not okay what they've done to us. It's not okay. I'm not a good person, but I'm also not a bad person. I'm just a normal person that's done some bad things over the years, and I'm fucking good at peacocking. I'm good at ruffling my feathers so that people leave me alone, and it's the only way that I was ever able to protect myself. And that was how I protected myself for a long, long time. But it's... like, I'm not like people say I am. I'm not an animal. I'm not an animal. And like, the way that they've treated me for so long is like I'm an animal, and they've made me become an animal. And it's not my nature. I just want to be left alone. I want my children to be left alone first and foremost. I want my children to go home to their mum. One day, somebody will turn around and look at all of this and say, listen, none of this should have ever happened. They should never have done the things that they've done. And they do. They catastrophize everything. Like, they raided the house, and they took stuff that was so mundane. Like, Nikki had an air rifle because she wanted to learn to shoot. It's okay. Like, you're allowed them. And they've made that, no, it's a weapon. It's a weapon. Why have you got weapons in the house? What, you think you think the kids have got access to these things? No, it's not. It's not a thing. And it's like, the way that they make it out is like, it's like I'm a monster, and everything I do, everything in our lives is all geared around me being more of a monster. And it doesn't matter. Like, when I went and asked for help, because I went to Truro police station and I asked for help, and they weren't interested. They hate me. They really hate me. They put me on the phone with a mental health team. They weren't interested. So I come up to Chelmsford, because that's the next county over from Suffolk. So I thought, I'll come to Essex, and I'll be able to speak to the police that were dealing with me from Suffolk, and they might be able to help, because they said, listen, what help can we give you? And I didn't know, and I don't know, I still don't know what help they could have given me. And I tried, and I went to the police station, and I said, listen, I'm in the middle of like having a breakdown here, please just help me, because I'm going to kill myself, and I don't want to have to do it. I want to be able to, I want somebody to give us a chance as a family, just give my kids back to Nikki, and then we can try and fix things. We can, no matter how long it takes, even if it takes a decade. And they took me to the hospital. I went to the hospital, and they thought that I wanted a bed. They thought that I just wanted somewhere to stay. And I don't. I didn't want to be at the hospital. I didn't want to stay at the hospital. I didn't want to be there. It's so hard to ask for help when you're drowning, and when you do, it gets used against you. And they've used it against me. Like today, I'm more of a risk because I've bounced around the country, not knowing where to go, not knowing who to turn to for help, and what am I meant to do with that? Because if I say that I'm not broken, I'm not admitting that I've got a problem. But if I ask for help because I am broken, they say that I'm more of a problem because I'm asking for help. They're the ones that caused this. They're the ones that have pushed and pushed. If they never took me away the first time, we would have been okay as a family. We'd have been fine. And I'm tired of all of this. And I miss my kids, man. And do you know what fucked me up recently? You know in Invincible, when Nolan's captured, the TV show, or the comics, like graphic novels, he's captured and he's in prison and he sits there and he turns around and he's like, I think I miss my wife. Do you know, that broke me. That broke me. I read that bit a few months back and that broke me. And I miss my children, and I also miss my wife. She was my best friend. She was my best friend. She was my very, very best friend. She's the only person that I ever really believe was just... I believed that she picked me for a long time, and I couldn't pick her back. I did pick her. I just couldn't be there. But they've pushed and they've pushed and they've pushed, and they're going to get what they want. I just hope one day somebody looks at this and realises it wasn't actually all that bad. Because I'm not as bad as people say I am.